let's get to animating our wings and making sure they're flapping in the right direction. Let's jump into After Effects and get going on that. All right, so here we are. We've got our bee. Now we're going to start with the front wing here, and I want to get that to start flapping. How do I do that? Pretty simple, actually. We're going to say, let's create a few keyframes. So if we're looking over here, if I zoom out a little bit, there we are. And we're looking at this one wing. In fact, I'm going to shut off the other part for now. And so all we're looking at is that wing there. And now I want to adjust my X rotation, which is the red axes here. And so I'm going to start with the X rotation, and I'm just going to come out and make a couple keyframes. And I'm going to say drop that down to 134. So I've got this. Blink. That's it. Just one quick keyframe. Just like that. You can't even really see it. But what we're going to do now is really important and really cool because it's going to save time. We're going to click into our speed graph editor, and we're going to grab our X rotation like so. Okay? And we're going to add an expression actually. Let's go ahead first and make those easy ease, right? Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And click that button there to make them nice and they flap in and out pretty nicely. Now let's come back to our expression. So what we're going to do is click on Alt and click on that stopwatch from where we created those keyframes. And we still have those keyframes there. And now we're going to type a little bit of expression. We're going to say loop out, and we're going to type in quote cycle like that, and then put the semicolon at the end. Enter. So what that's saying is we're going to loop out. So from the end of the last keyframe, it's going to cycle it. So at the end of the last keyframe, it's going to go all the way back, and it's going to play through it. Loop out. So what I could actually do is, because I want it to go down, up, I could say ping pong. Loop out ping pong. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's going to keep bouncing back and forth. Okay. And it's going to continue on for as long as possible. So if I push play, look at that. It's flapping and it's doing pretty well. That's not bad. I'll take that for now. It may not be fast enough. That's okay. What I can do is let's zoom in here on our timeline. Right? Let's come over to our keyframes. And what's cool about this, because we have that expression, I can adjust the speed of that wing flap. And now it's flapping even faster. It's almost like a butterfly, really. So that works pretty nicely. So that's one wing. Well, how do we do the second wing? And here's where it gets a little complicated. So let's zoom out a little bit. And what we're going to do here is some basic math, okay? We're going to hold down on this wing. Let's turn this on, the second wing. We're going to hold down Alt and click on the X rotation. And I'm going to pick whip the X rotation of our wing 1. We're going to say, hey, parent this, okay? However, if I do that, it's going to go the same way. Okay, we don't want that because wings go opposite directions. So a simple answer to this, if you want something instead of you going the same way, right, you're going to say, hey, I want it to go in the negative version of that, the opposite way. So to get a negative, we're just going to say, hey, do this, but multiply it by a -1. It's going to give us the reverse angle of that. I'll show you what I mean. All right, so here we are with our expression, and I'm just going to take and put this whole thing in parentheses. So it says, hey, look at this, and I'm going to hit star, which is multiply by a parentheses -1 close parentheses. Basic math. So now, if I scrub through and play this, look at that. They are flying in the right direction. And I can slow that down so you can see it. Look at that. Looking perfect. So I hope that helps in creating some animations. We did a little bit of parenting, a little bit of expression work with a little bit of also some basic math in there to make sure that our wings are going the right direction. We added motion blur. We created some pre-comps or nested sequences, if you're familiar with Premiere, to create those wings. We worked with a couple 3D layers as well, and also animated everything along a path. I hope this helps in your next project. And until next time, keep creating.